Basil Hallward was working in his studio on a portrait of a beautiful young man when he was visited by his pleasure-loving friend, Lord Henry Wotton. Henry was very impressed by the portrait and wanted to meet this charming youth. His name was Dorian Gray. This worried Basil.
I don't want you to meet him.
It's the best work you've done. I must see Dorian Gray.
At that moment, Dorian arrived and, to Basil's distress, invited Henry to stay and watch. Immediately, Henry started to charm Dorian with his clever idea about life. Basil continued painting, but Dora was tired and went into the garden, and Henry followed.
Lord Henry, are you really such a bad influence as Basil says?
Believe the only way to get rid of temptation is to ill to eat.
Dorian listened wide-eyed to Henry's words about the horror of old age. He had never thought about this before. He viewed his youthful self in the finished portrait and felt troubled. It would never grow old and ugly. He would sell his soul to remain young forever, like the portrait.
I will grow old, but the portrait will never be older.
Youth is the one thing worth having. Your beauty will go.
Dorian and Henry soon became best friends, and Dorian began to seek new pleasures in London.
Who are you in love with?
Sybil Vane. Night after night I go to see her play. I worship her.
Sybil lived with her poor mother and the brother James, who was preparing to sail to Australia. James was frightened for his beloved sister. He had told them of her great love of Prince Charming, whose real name she did not know, but who came to see her play each night.
Who is he? I'm sure he means you no good. If he does you any wrong, I will kill him.
Oh, I love Prince Charming.
Finally, Dorian asked Sybil to marry him. He invited Henry and Basil to see her act, so that they could see why he had fallen for her. She looked lovely as Juliet. Then she spoke. Her acting was terrible, meaningless. Dorian, embarrassed and furious, ended the engagement.
You have killed my love. What I know, a third-rate actress with a pretty face.
Dorian, please don't leave me. Dorian left Sybil and walked the streets. Arriving at home, he saw his scars and the portrait, and he jumped back in horror. The face had changed, his soft expression had become hard and cruel. Suddenly he recalled what he said in Basil's studio. Dorian was afraid.
Have I been cruel? But oh, I wished for the portrait to grow old while I remained young. The picture shows my true self.
Next day, Dorian approached the portrait, sick with fear. He was gazing at it with disbelief when Lord Henry arrived. Dorian told him that he would now decide to marry Sybil. After all, Henry gasped. Dorian hadn't received his note. Sybil was died.
Oh, Dorian, Sybil is dead.
I compare the idea of my soul being ideas. I will marry Sybil. That? It's a horrible lie.
Years passed. Dorian tried to drown his guilt in a life of pleasure and scandal. Basil came to confront him about his evil ways and reacted with horror when Dorian revealed the now hero's portrait. In a fit of rage, Dorian blamed Basil for all his suffering and stabbed his friends to death.
I don't believe it's my picture. It has the eyes of the devil. I want the Dorian Gray I used to paint.
It's too late, Basil.
Basil's body lay beneath the portrait, which was now sweating blood. A cruel and desperate Dorian contacted a former doctor friend, Alan Campbell, and managed to blackmail the horrified man into helping him get rid of Basil's body.
What devil's work are you up now?
Alan, I had to kill him. He made me suffer.
You are mad, Dorian.
Dorian tried to forget Basil and the portrait. Again, he threw himself into the distant life. One night in a pub by the river, a sailor grabbed him from behind. It was Sybil's brother, James. But how cold this Yaroslav-looking man be Dorian? James ran off in fear.
You wrecked the life of my sister. She killed herself. Oh no! Forgive me, sir. The man I want must be nearly 40. You are little more than a boy.
Finally, Dorian had suffered enough. He wanted his old life back. He went to see the portrait. To his horror, it had become even more repulsive. He had to destroy it. He took a knife and stabbed the picture. The police found the body of an ugly, wrinkled old man beneath a perfect portrait.